All right, big up yourself. 95 for 65. Brockwide, you done know the MySpace.
Come on.
We are part of the peace, and we want peace. This is the PieceMAKERS podcast in conjunction with what?
Come on, make it stop.
Make it stop. And we're happy to be here. This is the first of many, and
strong lineup.
Yeah. I'm proud to. We've just been conversating with this guy already, and I'm already intrigued. And it's
well, actually, you kind of need to introduce.
Who we are?
Well,
we're Max and Shan, innit? Well, I'm Max.
Yeah, and I'm Shan.
Yeah, and
but they might not know.
No, you need to get to know. If you don't know, get to know. Don't be like that. You need to know. But we are a family that want to make it stop. We're all part of what it is and the community that we live in, and we want to make change. We want to be part of change.
Yeah.
And we've jumped on this because we believe this strategy will work, and if we all work together and put all the pieces together, we can make a difference.
Catalyst of change.
Yeah. There's been so many different campaigns. I'm not going to call out any. I felt like to call out some. I didn't want to do it. But you know what it is? I want to just say, you know what? We want to put everything under one roof. We want to make a difference. And I hope you would join us.
I think the struggle that has been over years is that so many different campaigns and so many different charities, and that organization is doing that over there, and that person is set up something over here, and it's just division, and we're trying to counteract that because division is not going to get us too far.
And this is the first, and I'm not gonna lie, when I first went to that meeting, the Make It Stop campaign, whole time Pastor Lorraine, and we're thinking, what is this? Another one? The community is going to be moaning. And I went there with a different mindset, and for some reason, I was just blown away by the whole thing, about the different pieces that can be put together and what we can do. And then this guy stood up, and who we've got today, and he spoke, and I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. Because everybody else was moaning. There's like, and this guy just put everything in perspective.
Yeah.
And then
let's find solutions.
Let's find solutions, and this is what we're about. So we're not in it for, and this ain't a short term kind of solution. We're looking
it's
to
not an
not
overnight.
a plaster.
Look,
not a
we
plaster.
found ourselves here,
Yeah.
and it wasn't an overnight situation. This has been years and years of loss and pain and frustration and separation and death and loss in our communities, near and far. And
it's knocking on the door as well.
Yeah,
it's closer. Friends, family, cousins.
100%.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, sometimes when it gets close to home or it gets to your doorstep, that's when you kind of want to wake up and think, oh, wow, like something needs to happen, something needs to change. And we're kind of like, let's not wait for that. Like, surely you know and can see that we need to do something now. And if everyone plays their part, plays their role as to the best of their ability, then surely it can bring some change. It may not solve every single situation, but I believe it can bring about a big change.
Go on, baby. I love you. Hey, look, you talk the thing. Yeah, get me. Hey, make sure you like, comment, subscribe as well. Like,
don't
like,
forget,
comment, subscribe.
forget,
but let's introduce our guests.
100.
Like, let's go. You done know the MySpace. What's going on, my brother?
Bobby Mills.
I'm all good.
Is it how is it because it's mad. You know that our brand is who is Bob. So Best of Both Boutique and Bob. So yeah, it's just like so fitting to you being
known as Bob.
Do you know what? You probably feel like everything I say has got a story behind it. It kind of does. My actual name is a long Greek name.
Go on.
Yeah, Panagiotis Miltiadous.
Select it inside
Ooh,
Brockwide.
I like that.
That's my Greek name.
Go on, start again. Start
You
again.
got to repeat after me.
Yeah.
Panagiotis
Bonayotis.
Miltiadous.
I don't. I forget it.
Baniatis, Mitiatis.
Beautiful
Yeah,
name though.
What
What does it mean? What's it meaning?
It's a common Greek name. It means
Common, but I've never heard that in my life.
yeah.
Have you ever been to Greece?
Yeah, but like you talk about like
What footballers?
Zeus and come on now.
Oh, like mythology.
Yeah.
Greek mythology.
Yeah.
It's it means God is holy, something like that, along them lines.
Straight down.
Yeah.
100%. That's what he is.
Yeah. So my family are from Cyprus originally, came over here. Mum was a baby when she came over here. Dad was 18, came over here for uni. What brought them over here was the 1974 invasion of, I call it invasion. I'm not going to call it an invasion because last time I said that, it
You
was
got cancelled.
political sort of it was a situation, let's say, where Turkey invaded northern Cyprus, you know. So my family were from the north part of Cyprus and then came over. My dad was already here just by chance, you know, studying at the time. So after that, it was difficult for him to go back. He tried to go back, but ended up staying here.
All right.
So it was a lot of different pieces as to actually how he ended up here. Obviously, met my mum later on, and, you know, they got married young and had triplets.
Wow, that was that. We ain't even gonna go into that because that's a next different story. I'm like, wowzers. But nah, it's a blessing to have you here.
Yeah.
You spoke up at the event. I'm gonna ask you real up because honestly, when you heard about the campaign, because you've been around, you've been doing a lot. We're gonna get your Wikipedia as well. But my main thing is that when you heard about the Make It Stop campaign, what made you want to get involved? What made you even get up and say something at that event as well? Because I was tempted, but I was like, I'm not gonna say that because it just. You know what I mean? I was like, everybody's just moaning. I'm not gonna lie, they were moaning, and sometimes you just want to shut up. But sorry, no disrespect to anybody that was there, but some of you just need to stop it, innit? Like, stop moaning. But what made you stand up and say something? And what do you think of the whole Make It Stop campaign? You can be honest, like.
Yeah, I think it's great because I've got a good relationship with Pastor Lorraine as well, and we've been working together and helping each other for a number of years.
Okay.
I'm very fond of what she does and her as a person. So anytime she's needed help or advice through more of a boxing sense, I've always been there. I've gone down and vice versa. So that was how, you know, I know her because we've got a good relationship. And then when I heard about the campaign, I wanted to go down and support. Initially, didn't understand exactly what it was about. So I just thought, let me go down there with Kashana, who's one of our trustees at our charity, and just sat there, you know, like everyone else. And then I didn't plan to speak, but when I heard and I sort of felt how the course of the meeting was going, and like you said, a lot of people were venting their own frustrations. You know, the police were present, and I think a lot of those frustrations was towards the police.
Oh, that I forgot about that bit. That was bad.
Yeah.
That was real bad.
That's the risk
But,
you always
yeah.
run when you have police presence. And I think it's good the police need to be at these community
Yes,
meetings because they need to
100%.
hear it real
Yeah.
from the people that are suffering. And they're the parents, whether they're user groups, they need to hear what's really going on. And also they need to hear what we need from them. It's not for them to come here. And I said this at another speech subsequently. A few weeks later, I was invited to another campaign called Push. You know, my girl Sim, she was at the meeting as well. And when I went there, it was the same thing. The police were present. And I think it's important you stand up and tell the police what it is we need. We're the ones in the community doing the work. We're the ones that are engaging with our young people. We see what's going on. So please listen to us and try and understand where we're coming from and then act upon it that way. But it worked out well that I was the last speaker as well, because I just felt it was sort of going down a road where, you know, a lot of frustration was being vented towards the police, and I felt I just wanted to bring it back to what the meeting was originally about, and that's the reason I stood up.
No, and even before we get your Wikipedia again, you get me. You said you spoke about a particular situation with a young person about the communication element of it, and I'm hearing that this is a story that's even blossomed to something that you never would have thought. I've never. No, I heard. I'm like, huh? What do you mean? So that guy went from this to this, and I'm like, right. Obviously, you ain't heard the whole. But he's gonna tell you now. What's he talking about? You think I don't tell you everything, but I do. But it's not everything I'm gonna tell you, innit? Like, you get me
Well,
going.
you didn't tell me you were going to get a puzzle piece cut into your head.
I know, I went crazy. I
Doing
went
the
crazy.
most, boy.
You know, when you talk to the barber and you say, I'm going to a meeting about thingies, like, yeah, I'm gonna do, and then this experiment in your head. But they have to sack, they're going to sack him. They're gonna sack the barber.
So with that, so I told the story at the meeting. So I wanted to give a real life example, you know, of the kind of things that we face. I'm a boxing coach at Afewee Boxing Gym. We've been going since 1997. The founder, Stedman Scott, Tony Goldring, founded that charity. They're the ones that gave me my opportunity as a young person. I was 23 years old at the time, and I didn't have no direction myself. I didn't know what I was going to do, and I didn't want a 9-to-5 because I struggled working for people. So when I went down to Afewee in 2014, at the time we were nothing. So my story in a short space of time to bring that meeting back to where it needed to be was to tell a story that stood out to me within that time frame. And one of those stories was a few years into my position there at Afewee, where a young man come up to me and said to me, "Coach, can I speak to you?" And I said, yeah. So we finished the session. we went in the office and he said, obviously I want to approach you because you're my coach and I feel like I can talk to you. And I said, okay, what's up? And he said to me, I carry a knife. I'm one of them young people where I feel like I have to carry a knife, but I don't want to carry a knife. And I could see in his face, he genuinely wanted to speak to someone that was going to try and guide him and not just guide him, but tell him, how can I stop this? How can I get out of what I'm doing? Because I don't want to do it no more. And the first thing I said to him was, why do you carry a knife? Talk to me, explain to me why you do it. Because I think as a mentor, as an older figure, if you can understand a young person's why, then you can get to the root of the problem and start from there. So I asked him what it is he feels and why it is he feels he needs to carry it. And he said, like most of them say, he said protection. Because he feels like at the time he was involved in gang-related, crime and stuff like that. And just to leave his block and then cross the road, back in the day it was more about, it was like area wars. It was like Brixton, Peckham, for example. From area, it then became postcode wars. So then you can start to see it's filtering down. From postcode wars, it became block wars. So now it's block wars, where you might be the same. It's on your doorstep. You might be part of the same postcode, but one block and another block are not getting on. And he fell into that, into that lifestyle, unfortunately. So he had it for protection. And I said to him, okay, here's what you're going to do. For the next few weeks, I just want you to come to the gym. I need to see you at this gym every day. Come to the boxing gym. Give yourself something to do, because a lot of the time, these young people don't have any direction, or they don't have any structure, or they don't know where to go and what to do. So I said, this is where you've got to be. So I just wanted to bring him out of that situation. After a while, he come up to me and he said, I got a job. I said, yeah. I said, where have you got a job? I work in a gym. So he became like a fitness instructor, because he was always into.
But what happened to the knife though? Did you take it off him, like, big man, give me the knife, or what happened? Or
no, he dropped the knife. He stopped carrying the knife.
Okay, cool.
He did what he did with it. But because I was seeing him often, especially after school times, I knew where he was. Kind of.
So it was like someone actually just checking in and actually being aware of.
But that's why I said to him, I need to see you here, because it kept him accountable.
Yeah.
And gave him something to do. I know where he is. And then after a while, I could see where his path was going. He started to say, like I said, he got a job. He became a fitness instructor. He was always into his weights and gym. And you could kind of see, you could see the way he carried himself. And I was speaking to one of my coaches the other day, and this is the latest on it, which I didn't even know until a couple of weeks ago.
Mad thing.
I was telling him about the Make It Stop campaign and what we're doing and the podcast. And he said, I said, do you remember that kid? I need to get back in touch with him. I want to talk to him again, because I lost touch with him. And he said, yeah, I've got his number. Like, he contacts me sometimes. And I didn't even realise. I said, he goes to me, you know what he does now? I said, what? He goes, he's a policeman now,
Mad thing. See that? I was gonna make a guess. I was gonna start saying stop, let make you guess in it. I was gonna mad. Mad. Tell me that ain't mad.
That is, you never would have thought in a million years that this young man who lived that lifestyle, who was then got into fitness and stuff, would then go on to become
part of the police force.
An officer of the law. So I couldn't believe that when I found that out, and I was like, are we talking about the same?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, man. Yeah,
Did you double check this, big man? You have to say.
Have you spoken to him?
So I've got his number. So I need to reach out to him. Because,
please.
I need to meet up with this young man again. I think he's in his early 20s now, I believe.
No, because that's a testimony. That's an actual podcast in itself.
Yeah, we don't even want Bobby on there. Let's get him off get off now. Phone him now.
No, I can only imagine what crossroads he came to with all these different paths that presented itself to him.
Yeah.
To come and talk to you, then to make a decision to put the knife down, then to start going to the gym more. Literally.
But it stems from and that's the important bit that I want to put out there, is that if you're a person in that position where you have access to young people, it just goes to show how important a power of a conversation is. And I say that term all the time, and I said it in the meeting, and that was my message. It's like a power of a conversation with a young person can change their life. And that I'd like to think that conversation I had with him helped him along his, the course of his life, and helped put him on the right path, if anything. So each one of us can do our bit. And it doesn't have to be a lot, it could be a conversation. So,
That is sick. You know, I don't want to do no more saying up because that's like a
it's
mic drop, innit?
Yeah, of course.
Because
it is.
that's what it's all about, innit? But you know,
It's making yourself available.
come on now.
Yeah, and actually showing that you actually care.
yeah.
I think ultimately it's that, like, you as a young person, I see you, I see your potential. Like, come, let's try something out. Let's do something. It's just taking
But
that
it
time
it is hurtful because obviously there is some situations where you feel, and you probably might be able to second this in terms of when I was working with young people in the college, and you put so much effort into them, and then they just anyway go that way anyway, and you're thinking
You can't save everyone.
and that is it too. Like, but you still do it regardless.
no,
Because even you're saying some have gone that way, many have come to years and years down the line and have said,
pull up on me,
like,
that.
do you remember when you said this? Do you remember, like, you're the only one that believed in me and you didn't want to give up on me. You know,
Yeah, I had one just like that. Well, it's more not that extreme, but it was a kind of a young boy that I was working with in the college, and everybody was just saying like, stop working, he's going to waste. And I said, I'm not giving up on him. That's dumb.
Yeah.
And I'll have little side calls, like, bro, just calm down in the club. And I'll try and do everything in my power and they were just like, no, we're gonna get rid of him. And I say, no, I don't. Give him another chance. And then he do something stupid. And he just kept doing it. But something about him I was like, bro, please, man, just. But years down the line, I just thought, he just didn't listen. And then years down the line, he pulled up in his car next to me. He's working, he does electrics and that. And he's like, yeah, you remember me? And I was like, nah. And he goes, all the words that you said, bro, all them things you were saying. And he wheeled off words that I didn't even know that I was saying. You get it? Like, I was like, raw. And he's like, nah, bro. And now he literally works with me now. Like, literally does little handyman jobs for me here and there.
I'm driving a better car than you.
Whoa. Cut that bit out. Cut that bit out. We're going to delete that bit out. That's just wrong. Do you get me? But now, your Wikipedia, on a roll, because people need to know the build-up of where you got to where you got, because you said you didn't have a focus. And that's the one scariest thing I fear for my children as well. Like when they say, I don't know what I want to do. That, you know, it scares me.
Yeah.
And what happened? Why did you lose focus? Like,
you know, because I was like, left school, didn't get the best grades in school.
What did you get? The U's and G's?
Didn't turn up for some of them, you know. Then went to, I don't know how I managed to get into sixth form, but I got into sixth form.
Sixth form?
Yeah.
Not college or sixth form? Which one? You know the difference, innit?
I got into, it was a sixth form.
Bad man, go on.
Yeah. But I don't know how I managed to get through it. It was just a waste of time.
To study what?
I did media. I did sociology, like nothing that I went on to
psychology as well.
Yeah, just
for the galdem, you know, them for the galdem.
Yeah, it's just like I didn't end up getting nothing out of the schooling system for me.
Okay.
But I knew it when I was young. I felt it when I was young. I was like I have to be here, but I don't. I always kind of had it in my head that I don't really know why I'm here. It's not really benefiting me, and I was always into sport. And I thought I got to a stage where I just didn't know what path I was going to go down. Did a little bit of boxing myself, amateur boxer. My uncle was an amateur boxer, so he was my route into the sport. And then he trained me for a while and said, you know, you're good enough, go and box for a club. And then really that's how my love for boxing started to evolve from there. And then when I heard about Afewee opening up in 2012, because what happened with that was it was off the back of the London 2012 riots that happened.
Okay.
And Stedman and Tony, the founder, said, we need a boxing club in central Brixton. And we got a petition out. I wasn't part of it then, but they got a petition out, and in about 4 weeks, over 1,000 people of our community in Brixton signed this petition, you know, and then that started to get attention. So the rec allowed us to start initiating non-contact boxing in 2014, I think around May. But May is when I went down.
What's non-contact boxing?
Just like we weren't allowed to spar and like stuff like that because we didn't have a ring. Like we had nothing.
Okay.
So when we started the gym, we were in a multi-purpose sports hall in the rec upstairs.
Okay.
And all we had was gloves. Then we got some money for some equipment, so I bought some gloves. We bought a ring, but it's not a ring that you're probably thinking of. It's a ring.
You know what the kids do? You just make a little two thing.
Makeshift.
Yeah.
Put some bags down.
Yeah, we had the mats, the jigsaw matting is called, so we had to put the mats down. We had to slide in some metal poles, and I put up a ring 3 times a week, me and one other person. And it was all voluntary, and I did that for 3.5 years.
Free.
You know?
So was you working alongside that?
No.
Wow.
No, I just like I didn't have. I was still at home, but I didn't have no money. Like I didn't have. But I saw this vision. I thought I'm just gonna keep chipping away, and then we had to put the ring up Monday, Wednesday, Sunday mornings. I remember it well, and then it just grew. It just grew and grew. We started getting members in. We started running from 3 times a week, kids boxing, adult boxing. The little bit of money that they were paying, we would keep, and we would buy more equipment and would start upskilling our coaches. And I started developing coaches. Next thing I know, I thought, do you know what? There's a space in this building that I can turn into a gym. And the whole of the Afewee committee backed it and said, this space here on level 1, it's not much, it's narrow, it's long. It used to be, I believe it used to be a rifle range.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then when I first went in the gym, you can see the pellets at the end of the gym. Yeah, well, I'm thinking, well, they got rifles in Brixton. Now. They're doing, like, who thought of putting that rifle range in central Brixton? That must have been interesting. But it became a dumping ground for decades. I think years and years. It was just office furniture in there. So we got funding, and I'll be real. I don't think they thought we would pull it off. So they said yes to it. When I say yes, it was the council at the time was like, all right, do what you're doing. But probably thought that they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. They never gave us money in that sense. They never gave us. They said some words, but it was just words.
Yeah.
So we went out. We got funding for it. We got match funding from the London Marathon Trust, from GLL at the time, and I think it cost us around £60,000 that we managed to secure.
For real?
And we turned it into an operational space for the community, and it's running today till this day from 2017.
No, like when I first met Stedman, and I can't remember, we were at TED Talks. We had the TED Talks and Kai was doing the interviews, and he was invited to do the interviews and of the background of TED Talks and that. And the first time I met Stedman, the cameras are all out and everybody's there, and he doesn't he's one of them get down, and I was like, rah, this is what these dudes them need, like that. This is like
drill sergeant.
Yeah, proper. Yeah. And to date now,
he's the same.
It's the same.
Still the same, Stedman. Yeah. You get me? And I from that day I fell in love with I felt this man is so unique. So this is what we need in the community: fit, and he cares, and he speaks real.
Yeah. He even today I look at him and I think he's my inspiration, to be honest with you. He's my mentor, the one person where he's probably the only positive role model in my life now. But I can say that because my circle's very small, so I look up a lot to Stedman, And like I said, Stedman and Tony gave me my opportunity. I was like 23. I wasn't proven as a coach. Like I hadn't done nothing. I had no track record that I have now of training national amateur champions and professional champions, and that's because of an opportunity given to me. So I use that with young people now. I say, listen, off the back of one opportunity, you can change your life.
But 3 years though, bro, no peas.
No.
Sacrifice, boy.
The sacrifice.
But he had the vision, and
that's the key. And again, that's another message. That's a separate message. So like, if you've got a vision, as long as it's sensible and it's realistic, and you can see an outcome to it, and you can feel progression towards it, keep going.
Yeah, and you got a passion for it.
You got a passion for it. It's like money was kind of like, wasn't needed at the time. It wasn't my driving force at the time. I thought, you know what? If I just stick to this, I know I can do something with Afewee. They've given me the opportunity, so I wanted to prove it to them as well. And we're actually on the verge of securing a bigger space now.
Come on now, don't talk the thing. Wait, can you talk the thing or you can't?
We'll leave it there. But
no.
No, I look forward to hearing
prayers on that. It's because he deserves it.
And I think ultimately, when you're doing something not for monetary gain, because you just have a love and a passion for it, the money just comes.
Yeah, 100%.
It literally does. It's just having a heart for something because,
No, that story you got, and well as your other stories, is absolutely amazing. It's good that you're standing. What? All right. So you were that guy. You had that focus. You had that vision. And there's young people that out there that don't have that vision. There's many. I've seen young people that are ballers, like footballers, like quick off their foot and boxing and all kind of sports. And then there's the road's eating them away, and they're stuck in it. And I'm not gonna lie. I'd actually hit the streets the other day because we do a lot of work with the homeless and our Stronger Together campaign. And I said, I'm gonna have to go out there and actually pose in a certain way. So I carried a bag. I wasn't dressed in the best clothes, and the bag was full of food, but it's like a big, them Sports Direct bags.
A holder.
Yeah. So it looked like I got It looked like I had stolen goods in it, but really it had food in it.
Okay.
But it just happened like that. And I was actually going to feed her, but I actually diverted and said, you know what? I'm going to pretend like I'm not going to say one of them. I'm going to say I'm just
You
out
don't think
there.
they couldn't spot you from a mile off?
Nah, they actually didn't. I'll be honest with you. That for the once actually fitted in.
And they didn't step to you to say you're stepping
This
on
is where
their turf.
this is where the story came. So when I was walking with the bag, it looked like I had stolen goods. So when I'm walking past a certain place, Windrush Square, I was approached like, "What you got?" And I'm like, "I'm feeding the homeless." And he's like, "Oh, go on. Do it. Good thing." But really, when I sat back now and looked at the whole dynamic of it, what it was doing was approaching the users, saying, "What you got? Come. You can get something for that, and then go off about your business. But you still owe me because it's just goods. You still have to give me cash." Like, and I was just watching how he was there and another young guy was there, and I'm there thinking, "Why are you there?" I'm thinking, "This, come on, boy, this can't be your life." And because of the way where we are on Brixton Station Road, we see it all the time. Young people just they've all got. Every single one, I can tell you their story. Like I said, this one wants to have his own branding. This one was a baller. This one, but they're all just eating with the roads.
It's fast money, isn't it? And it's kind of easy money. For
It's
them.
easy money, but the way they've been manipulated on the road, where the other day got done. I told you, got pulled up taking all his stuff by gunpoint.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like broad daylight, they took his stuff by gunpoint, but it's all a setup, innit? So the man has to go back on the road because he's got no stuff now, and he has to work more, make the money back.
Make what
It's
he's
like
lost,
a vicious
and
cycle.
then some. It is a vicious.
And I've said to the man, there is no rules on road. I said, if you're gonna go on road, you've got to go in totally. So when I do it to the youth stuff, I go, when you're going on road, you got to go. If you're gonna do it, go hard. So you're gonna have to. You can't have a next guy selling drugs. You have to take over him. So you have to get big guns, and not no small ones. Big ones. So you have to get.
I don't think that's the greatest advice.
I know, but it's like having a conversation. It's like breaking it down, really. If you're gonna do it, go hard or don't bother.
You're trying to make them understand the reality of what they're getting.
It's gonna get mad.
But you know what? I think with that as well, it's like what is it that we can do that's productive for them? Because a lot of the times, I think the reason why they're going to the roads as well is because it could be a whole host of reasons. Yeah, lack of male role models, single parent households. Mum's struggling to hold the family or the house down, so they feel like the society don't believe in them. They're not getting no support from school. Like I see all these things that is going against them. Yeah? So it's almost like the only option they do have is to go and make quick money. And I think to myself, if there's more organizations that can give these people a future or make them realize there is a future somewhere else, then that's a massive part of what we can do. And a lot of people talk about, we need more youth centres. Talk to me about why a youth centre is going to benefit our youth, because I don't see it. Because a youth centre, for example, is like, they got one place to go to. They get to play games, they get to meet, they get to congregate as well.
Yeah.
But what is it teaching them about changing your life? So at some stage, that young person's going to turn around and think, this is a joke. But I'm going to go back on the roads. They're not going to go to a youth club forever. But if you've got places like Afewee or like-minded user groups, sport, music, whatever field that they specialize in, if you've got the right people in place, you've got the right structure in place, the right programs in place, this young person, all of a sudden now, that young person's thinking, I can change my life here.
There's other options available.
There's other options.
To me.
But unless you're on that level, if you're not on that level, you're not going to help that young person. You might think you're helping that young person, but all you're doing is allowing them to have fun, as Stedman likes to say. It's like, Afewee is not a place of fun. I hear him in my voice because I've been listening to him for years. Afewee is not a place of fun. We have an open door policy. Any young person can walk through our door, and we understand they're not all going to go on to play sport, boxing, football, but just them being in that environment is what we talk about, is what we feel is important, where every one of them can benefit, because they're seeing people like me talking to them real. They're seeing all my coaching team are fantastic. I've got like 15 staff and coaches, or 20 across Afewee, where all of them are there. They all volunteer. They're all there for the right reason. So now it's not just one. It's not just Bobby. It's all of them. Whole team, talking to them, advising them, guiding them, but also seeing the same faces every week. It's like, he's still here. He's still here. Yeah. And like you said, I'm walking in Brixton all the time, and it's nice when you see young people approach you and they talk to you, where, you know, on the bus, and you think, you know what, you're still doing the boxing? Like, yeah, I'm going to be doing the boxing, because now it's become a little bit more of a mission, as opposed to, I thought I was getting into it just to be the best coach I could be. Once you start to have a bit of success and you realize what's actually going on and where you are, it becomes more about just success. It's like, you know, you're here to help these people.
It's more than sport. You found purpose.
Yeah.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Go on,
And one thing as well that you mentioned that is key is changing their environment, helping them to see, actually, look, you know, and fitness helps as well.
Yeah,
it helps, like, you know, obviously, your body, they feel less sluggish, open up their mind a little bit, open up their vision, and to see that actually people actually, like, normal real life people are doing this, you know, and right, they may not take it to be professional boxers or sportsmen,
like AJ and that,
whatever, but just being in that environment allows them to feel like, what other environments
that's the importance, right,
are
there.
available to me.
and then obviously this is where I'm gonna, because these kind of conversations start to alert certain things in my head, where the conversation thing, the conversation keeps coming back, having them conversations, and I'm gonna keep having them conversations. But for people that are mums at home, dads that are struggling, parents that are struggling, teachers that are struggling, people that have never even had an interaction with young people or care about young people, what kind of advice could we put out there in terms of do it? 'Cause I do it all the time. I talk to everybody. Like, my goal for every day is to make 20 people smile. I don't know, standard, and I'll do that to wherever. And I like having conversations with young people. I like speaking light into people. Like, just it's not cost nothing. And like your thing, what's your saying? Don't take nothing to light the next person's candle. And it's true. It's like, right, my candle's lit, and all you do is light the next one, and it's light. So
And they remember you as well.
Yeah.
It might be like a 10-second interaction, but they will remember that.
And that is it. So them powerful, because people are like, oh, I don't know how to. These young people don't listen. My mum did it the other day. Like, no respect, mum, but you just like, they don't listen. These young people, they don't listen to hard ears. And I'm thinking, you don't know how to engage.
But regardless,
with
you
people.
still have to keep hitting that wall, keep pressing, keep pushing, keep planting them seeds, keep sharing those kind words, and give them a little hug or a little encouragement, because you just don't know when they go home what starts churning through their mind. And if they can actually remember that one conversation or that one kind word from someone, that might counteract, right, it may not necessarily balance out, but it may try to help counteract all them other noise.
All the other negative stuff.
Yeah, all
they've got
the other
going on.
noise in their mind.
Yeah, like I said earlier, they're not getting, a lot of young people now. I'll always, you know, be an advocate for young people and speak up for them, because I'm not saying all of them are right. You know, you can't help everyone. I worked in a Peru for 6 months. And
Which one? What type of one? Is the ones where they climb out the windows and that? I used to come home all the time and say, you know, guess what happened today?
Story time.
Yeah. No, sorry, I have to say this, but bro,
every day.
I'm in a session. I'm literally in a, sorry to cut, but hold your thing.
Yeah.
We're in a session. I was in a session with these young people, and we're doing really well, and everything's going well, and we're engaging in that. And then these youths come in, and said, someone's stolen my iPods. Everybody get out, line up outside line outside the classroom. I'm like, no one has to move. You lot can sit down. Move it now. And the youths, they're a year up, so they all got up, and he's checking them for the. But it wasn't AirPods. It was drugs. So someone has stolen someone else's drug, but he used that as a play. Who's got my things? And I'm like, you lot can sit down. No one can move. And they're like, no, what? Teach. And I'm like, all right, you lot do your thing, innit? Like, and no one could do nothing.
Yeah, you see,
True, you know. Sorry, go on.
I feel like with Pru's, you've got to get it right. So I'm gonna big up this Pru, the Boxing Academy. Yeah, I worked for them for 6 months. Good people in Hackney, and what they do, and I feel like we need to roll this out across the country. This is one idea where they have boxing as part of their curriculum every day, and they've got a boxing gym in their school.
For girls and boys.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
cool.
And it's this particular building, it was small, and there was only 8 people per class, and every class had to have what they called a pod leader or a mentor. I was one of the mentors, so I had my group of 8, and I'll carry them through their 2 years. At the last 2 years, it was, I think, at the school. And my job was to get them through, keep them grounded, and get them through their GCSEs.
Okay.
So everyone had a pod leader. And the only reason I left that, and I didn't want to leave it, was because of, you know, the opportunity came up with Afewee and that. So they have boxing as part of their everyday curriculum. So regardless of whether they want to do it or not, for 1 hour a day, they have to go in the boxing gym. So their pod leaders all have to have a boxing background. And that's where we come into it as well. It's like I can coach them through that time. And if it kicked off, which it did kick off, there was fights. I mean, no windows, but like you had people that would kick off. The minute your back's turned, they take their opportunity, you know? And, you know, you saw that. But they would say, if you want to sort anything out, they would take them to the boxing gym. And do it and teach them, listen, now get in a ring.
Discipline.
Do it in a controlled way. With like, you think they're built for that?
No.
They're not built for that. So then they realise, oh wait, I've got to go for like 2 minutes. How many? What, 3 rounds? Do I get a break? Yeah, you get a 60 seconds in between. You know, and you got to put gloves on. And you're like, and once they start to realise, do you know what? Actually, they start to learn a form of respect for physical contact.
Yeah. It
changes their mindset. So like they were quite calm in that school, and it's really worked. Like them using boxing and education has really worked. And I just obviously I'm gonna say it because I'm a boxing man, but why we can't have those pros? You know, have a contact element, you know, contact sport element which is controlled in every pro.
So it could be football or it could be
combat. Have a
combat
sport element.
kickboxing.
No, but I got kicked off the kickbox because I used it for the wrong reasons outside of school, innit? So, and I never went back to it because I just thought it was a disrespect. Like Sensei just took liberty. I was like, why? I can't fight, use it outside. He said, no, you're not meant to do that. And I said, I was trying to defend, but he said, no, you cannot, under any circumstances, you're not meant to take it out of here. Do you get what I'm saying? To use it as a weapon. It's not like that.
Yeah, lethal
but
weapon,
I was using it as a weapon. I thought I could use it to do damage.
As
but
self-defense.
But I've never, but why boxing? Not everybody's in. What is it about boxing?
Let's have your frustration, innit?
No, there's more to it. There's something more to it because,
you know, I think I'd say this for any combat sport, but I just think with boxing, it requires so much focus and discipline. Where even if you don't box competitively, even if you don't have one fight, what you're going to learn along the way is how to control yourself, how to be disciplined, be on time. Okay, coach has got expectations of me, and once you build that relationship, they don't want to then let that down. Then you become a positive role model. Then you start to be able to influence other areas of their life. So you realise the competition element is irrelevant. You know, if they go on to actually compete, and we want to create champions, and we have created champions, great. But the reality is that in combat sport, it's so hard. If I've got 30 kids in a room, how many do you think will go on to box realistically? Maybe 1 or 2 if you're lucky. That's the ratio we're looking at. So people don't realise that. No, not people. A lot of people realise that. So over time, you're going to get accumulated success over time. So obviously, within the 10 years, we've had female national champions and male national champions. We've got a pro division now. But you think about how many kids that didn't go on to box. It's the majority of them. It's 95% of them. You know, what we doing with them kids that don't go on to compete? Like I said earlier, the environment and the structure that we provide, we believe they all get something out of that. You know, and that's
regardless. No, I did. You know what it is, because and this is not going back to the AJ and Danny the fight, but they done the things where they went into the corners of each. They done for the 5 rounds that it lasted. They went into each corner, and that's when I discovered how deep. Even though I know that it's the deep meaning behind boxing, not just people throwing hands and that. They've got to be thinking on the spot. All these kind of things. They've got to take directions, instructions. And he was talking about the uppercut. They were saying, do the uppercut. And in the other corner, it was like, he's going to throw the uppercut. That's what he's going to do. And And it's all about, look, don't look at me. Look forward. Focus. And there's all these little bits. There's loads of little small gems in there about you've got it. He said, AJ went back one time. He goes, this is what it is, isn't it? It's what it's come to. He goes, yeah, this is what it is. This is what the trench is.
This is what we live for, yeah.
This is what that's it. And I'm thinking, hold on, he got knocked down already, you know. I think this is like round 3 or something like that. He's like, he sat down, he's like, yeah, this is the trenches. This is what we live for. He goes, yeah, this is what you live for, 100%. And I'm thinking, bro, you're about... Well, I wouldn't be thinking, I'd be like, bro, everybody's watching me. There's 96,000 people. Like, how am I looking at there? But it's not that. It's so many different... And even after that, when AJ he done his video and he said, you get back up again. It's not about that, what I've stopped. And boom, 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 boom. So boxing's become this thing now where before you lose, you never see a man again. Like, boom, boom, boom. You can lose and get back up. It's now, AJ's turned it into, and I'll give AJ that, he's turned it into a sport where you start looking at different elements of it about what makes a person, the discipline,
The
what is it
mentality,
about, mentality.
yeah.
When he said I make mistakes, I shouldn't have said certain things, and that what you're just saying, it shows. Before, I think we just looked at it, Tyson knockout, yeah, boom, hair, go home.
Yeah.
Now we're looking at
Character,
different things. Boxing's now, I think the reality season's really showing and exposed certain bits and pieces about boxing, how powerful it can be to people's life in different aspects.
It's not just entertainment.
No, it's not entertainment.
You know, I wish a lot more people would understand the story behind these athletes, you know, because they've all got a story.
Yeah.
You know, a coach has got a story. You look at AJ, for example, talking about AJ, he started boxing at 18. That's old to start boxing. He is known, he makes it public that he used to sell a bit of drugs here and there, so he got arrested at one stage. So he was going down the wrong path, then boxing brought him back on. Within a few years, he got onto the Olympic team. Like, that's a whole success story, regardless of all the money he's made, all the fights he's had. That's what we need to be looking at and using as an example to these young people, saying, listen, man, it's not, sometimes it ain't just about where you end up. It's about the journey along the way.
Journey in between.
And that's what we miss a lot of the time, I think. He's an example of that. That's why, you know, and he goes back to his community, he goes back to his amateur club a lot. So, you know, I got a bit more of an insight as to what he does. You know, you respect the man for it. But people are just used to seeing that end result bit. Do you see what I'm saying? Like the win or
what
the loss.
it took to get,
You know, so I people's opinions like that, it's just like, it just goes over my head, because after a certain while you just become numb to it, because you think you don't really know what you're talking about. You know, look at the person's story and, you know, judge them at the end, you know?
No, 100%.
No,
We all can take...
There's lessons to be learned in everything. And one of my, like, common saying is everything is a classroom. Like, so no matter where you are, there's something to be learned.
No, but we think that we'd stop learning from 8. Like, that's it. After we finished college, we're like, yep, that's it, done now.
You could
but
have
it's
one
not.
conversation with an elderly person, have a conversation with a young, like, with the shopkeeper, or, you can learn from everyone. Person, like, something, if you talk to them long enough and actually listen. And I think that's ultimately what it is. You know, sometimes people say, oh, like, you're right, and then keep going, but actually, like, you're right, like, yes, I'd like an answer, like, are you all right? How's things going for you? And some people are a little bit taken back, like, oh, you actually...
Check it in.
Like, you actually care.
Yeah, I banned that word. Like, even when people come in the shop and they talk about, how are you today? And I go, fine. I said, that's banned. You can't say fine. Like,
or not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad. Like, what do you mean? Like, talk about it, but then obviously it opens up a can of worms and start going. They're like, no, actually, you know, I got a bunion.
I just come out of hospital.
Yeah, I said, do you want to see the bunion on my foot? Like, no, I don't want to see.
Where did the accent come from?
I don't know where it came from.
Was that a Brummie accent as well?
I don't even know.
Something.
0121. But no, you know what is? Obviously, I want to get. There's a lot of people that we've got a lot of. I've got supporting people in court at the moment. Families that have lost young ones. It has been messy. I do feel like sometimes to give up. I'm not gonna lie, because it feels like I've been doing this work so long, and it's like people come off, jump off, in or out. I've had people trying to build things and then it's fell off, and then they've tried this campaign, it doesn't work. And how do you keep going in this industry of working with young people, with the pain and aggro that can come with it? And especially with this Make It Stop campaign, how can we keep it going and fuel it? Because we've been there, you've been there, bro. So many things. Even Afewee, they didn't think it was gonna kick off. You know, they actually cancelled. Like, hold on, oh damn it. Okay, we're gonna have to keep. Like, how do you keep going?
The most important thing, the most important thing, because you're right, is you can get disheartened and you can think you can hold on to a lot of stuff. You know, when you see things happen, and sometimes even like, you know, coaches and even some of my coaches, I'm like, listen, you need to kind of take out the emotion a little bit, because we're here for a bigger cause than just any isolated incident that you're feeling a certain way about. So for us, the most important thing to answer that question is create the environment, create the space, make sure that space is there long term, which is what we're currently, you know, we've been with Afewee since 7 years where we are, since 2014. So best part of 10 years just the boxing. The football's been there 27 years, you know? So that longevity is important. So you've got to be there, you've got to have your structure, you have to have the right people around you, and you have to have a team, because no one person can do this within an organization. You've got to have a good team that are all on the same page as well, that understand the mission of why this club is here. So many times I say, even having a conversation last week with someone about, you know, there's gyms out there, there's clubs, there's organizations, but the people within it are on different waves. You know, you can't have it. You can't have. We got to be we're our own people, but we've got to be on the same page for the same mission. You know, you got to see yourself as we are an army coming for this right now.
Yeah.
And I've been lucky enough, like I said, I've got a good team now, and it wasn't, you know, it takes time to build that, but if you've ticked all those boxes and you've got that longevity, then that's how you stay in the game.
Build a foundation.
You build the foundation properly, but that's how you build longevity. And I feel like even now, I said this to someone today in a message, because they were like talking and saying some nice things about what's going on and what I'm doing. I put a few snaps up, and they said to me something about, you know, you keep going and stuff. And I said, is it weird though that I feel like I'm just starting? And I always feel like I'm just starting. And then I look back and I think I've been doing this 10 years. But it doesn't feel like I've been doing it 10 years. I don't know
that's a good
what
thing.
that's about.
No, I think the same way. You just, sometimes you feel like, I say to Shan, I feel like I haven't done that. And like, but bro, when you look back like, bro, when you proper pre and look back, even though you may not feel like, bro, the account's not reflecting what I've been, like, that ain't reflecting, but it's the glory of what you've done. Like, trust me, that is worth more than anything. Of the young people we've interacted, the people we've interacted, the business that have built and failed or not failed, and
it's a blessing.
It's literally a blessing.
Yeah.
But you touched on the one thing that I had a phone call conversation today with, and there's been a lot of this blame thing, where people that have now been affected by the knife crime situation are now looking at, they're kicking off of everything now. They're blaming that, they're blaming this, they're blaming that. And they're on their solo mission. They're literally saying, look, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this and that and that and that. And I'm like, but the only way we're going to do it if we work together. It's not going to... I can't see any about
burn out
thingy, but they're literally like, nah, that needs to be exposed. Nah, the money's going to this. And I'm like, this is not going on. Where's the one, I'll quote it, and hopefully I won't get in trouble. I'm just saying, but I won't mention the name. But she said, like, we would rather go bust champagnes and not open up our gate. Like, where's the Saturday schools? Where's this? And I'm like, but there are bits there. But it was so much of a blame game that I was like, how important it is. I know you just mentioned it, but how important is it for us to come together? And that's probably to both. Like, how is it going to take one person, or is it going to take a clip? Because everybody's got their own agenda. Much as, Bobby, you're doing your thing, I'm doing my thing.
But isn't the answer already in everything that you just said? Like, it's going to take a collective. One person could not even manage.
We have this one Marcus Garvey, that Marcus Garvey.
Just him, though.
Martin, he had the people. I don't know.
He was just the forefront, like the face. And not saying he wasn't powerful and he didn't have a strong voice and opinion and, you know, all of that. But weren't just him.
I don't know. I just the mum's pain. They're in pain.
Because you burn out.
Yeah, of course you will.
Like, there's only so much energy and drive you're gonna get. After a while, your body gets sick. You get tired. You get weary.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, when I was building the boxing club, I felt everything you're talking about. You know, you definitely can get burnt out, because I didn't start with a team. The team got built over time. So you definitely need a team.
3 years and no peace, blood. I'm just thinking about that. Like, the man, I'm like, in it, blood. But nah, respect. God, sorry, yeah.
But you know, with that as well, you know, that's what the Make It Stop campaign is trying to champion and trying to make happen. Is, okay, who are the people within the community that are doing stuff that's influential, that's doing stuff that's working, that are there for the right reasons? What could happen if we brought all those organizations and those individuals together as a collective and actually tackled this issue as a collective? And that's why I'm here. You know, that's why I'm part of it. I see a future in it. And I said to them, guys, you know, I've got a lot of time for Pastor Lorraine. We've got a good relationship. I'll do whatever I can and do my piece to help this get to where it has to get.
My piece, you get me?
Yeah.
It's not hard.
Like,
it's not hard.
No, well, to be fair, I look forward to watching your mini documentary. You know, the PieceMAKERS.
Did you get in it? Did you get in there? Little, you know, them ones you walk past like, just like.
Did I? Oh no, I didn't.
We went to the shop. We should have had the camera.
That would have been sick little walk past thing like, you get me? You know what I mean?
Little cameo.
I've always wanted that in Holby City. You know, like, I just wanted to do a walk past thing.
For EastEnders.
Like EastEnders?
I wouldn't mind EastEnders. Yeah.
Nah, I've always about Holby City. I've always been a Hobie City kind of person. You get it?
No.
If you had a message to anybody out there now, bro, that a young person in particular, because there is the hard to reach ones. There is the ones that are really like, they're gone
Closed
dark.
off.
I've seen some dark ones out there. There's on the rock Brixton. I'm like, wow, you lot do your thing, do your thing, do your thing. Do you get what I'm saying? There's one that literally, remember I told you about the I don't even like to use the word, bro, but a user. That's it, a user. She came in the shop, Safe Haven. No, she's walking down the road, and then his boys on the bikes, and then they see her and they kicked her over. Like, where's my money? And then she ran into our shop, and then she was looking at this particular item to try and divert not seeing them. So she's like, oh my gosh, this hat's really nice and very rare. So I was just watching her, and I said, I stood at the door, 'cause I don't want them to come and do nothing. I said, nah, bro, leave her. She's like, nah, she owes me £5. Shows me money. That's how it started. Shows me money. I was like, oh, you owe them money, so you might like, what's gonna happen? She's, how are you gonna get more money out of her? Then it went on, escalated. Then I found out it was £5. I was like, what? But it's the principle, bro, and boom, boom, boom. But these youths were dark. Like, these are not youths that I'm used to engaging in that sense. I felt intimidated because I didn't know the best way to manage that particular situation. The only thing I could do was, they were respectful because they said, uncle, but you got to let her go. She has to come out soon. I'm not going to go in your shop and violate, but she has to come out. And they're not having it. They were literally saying, she owes me £5. Boom, boom, boom. I think another user paid it off for her or something like that. Some mad interaction happened, and then she was allowed to go. But she had to go. I had to let her come out the shop, and she had to face what she had to face.
Yeah.
And it was hard, bro. That was probably the most heart-wrenching thing I had to do, because I couldn't protect her. I was like,
You still done your part though, you know.
It's best I could. Best I could.
Still made a difference, but you know, with that, you're right. A lot of young people now, there's certain where you can't get through to them because it's like they've got their mind made up on how they're going to live, and they're stuck in this mindset. And I think that comes from, a lot of it comes from anger, and a lot of it comes from like, do you know what? I can't get an opportunity nowhere else. They feel angry with the world. They feel angry with people around them. They haven't got anyone positive. Because the way I see it, if you ask those people and you sat down with those young people and you actually asked them questions and found out about them, I'll be surprised if many of them got positive people around them, or any form of real structure around them, or any form of like someone that's holding them accountable. So I'm thinking, do you know what? I can see why you're like that. And you're right, we can't help everyone, but they are the people that, even me personally, I really need to start. I need to get more of those people, because I believe sitting down with them, taking time, there's no one else here. It's me and you.
Yeah.
So now we're going to talk. There's nothing else you can do.
Safe place.
And if we can set that up, where one thing we're looking at doing is setting up, branching into mentoring, as well as we mentor anyway as coaches naturally on the gym floor, on the pitch. You know, we've been obviously doing it for years, but to make a like formal mentoring program and trying to target those hard to reach individuals, that's the next mission. And I think that's powerful, because it goes back to the conversation and the power of a conversation. You're not going to get through to them within a few minutes on the road, especially when something's kicking off, or when they're around their friends. I've tried, you know, and it's almost like they don't want to talk to you. They don't want to talk. They don't want to be seen talking to you. It's like, why are you trying to change my mentality? My boys are around me. It's like, I'll do it either way. Like, end up taking him home anyway. But if we can get that young person individually, you know, I think one of the women might have spoke about it in the meeting and talked about how vulnerable these young people are once you actually isolate them and get them alone. Then now we can have a conversation and block everything else out, and then really find out what's going on. And then from there, you know, you just start to break them down the right way. So
no, it's true, because some of them haven't been raised in a caring, loving, supportive.
And they're angry. You know, they're angry.
Yeah.
You know?
That's the key. That one that you just said, the anger thing. That's the key, isn't it?
You see, like, they're angry and they got this chip on their shoulder. It's like, no one's violated me from this day forward. You know? They might have had an interaction with the man and their dad, and seeing how their dad treated their mum, or it might have been the fact that dad was never there. It might be the fact that they feel like they've got no one else. You know, a whole host of things. So these are common things. And now it's like, you know, I'm my own man. You know, and now no
That's
other
how they feel like they've got their power back.
Yeah, that's how I have to portray myself. These kids are like 13, 14,
Like,
but
really?
they've already lived there's a certain element of life where they might have seen a little bit more than the average 13, 14-year-old. That's not particularly positive, and now it's like, nah, I'm my own man. I'm going to do things my way. So that's why you can't get through to them. But let them realise that you're there for them, and then see what response you start to get. You know?
And can you imagine the catalyst of change? You know, like when you got that that one that all the guys look up to, and then they start seeing the changes taking place in him,
Yeah.
and then he starts, you know, stepping away from certain things, and then turns his whole life around. You know, let's just say a great, you know, success story. For him to now come back and talk to them same ones
And
that
turn
actually,
police.
well, maybe not a police officer. That may not necessarily
That was
be
an
the best.
extreme,
Like,
yeah.
But it's not even an extreme because look, it's happened.
I know.
Yeah, but you know, he could have a successful clothing brand or car business or whatever direction he goes in. But then to actually come back and unfortunately see the same people you used to hang out with day in, night out and say, yo, come on board, man.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there is an actual better way. There is another way. This ain't it.
Yeah.
And coming from him, because they know where he actually came from, it kind of a little bit more
Resonate
authenticity.
more.
Yeah.
100%. We need to see more of the elders in the community, you know, doing their bit.
Yeah.
You know, like more people that have, like I agree, like have been through that lifestyle, or if they haven't been through that lifestyle, they know, they understand it a little bit, and they know how to talk to these young people. That's why that young man came and spoke to me, because he obviously felt like, I can talk to this guy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And another thing that upsets me when I see it, you know, school teachers, whether it's coaches, whether it's whoever it is, if you're in a situation or an environment where you deal with young people, you better make yourself approachable.
Talk. Say that again, brother. No, because I've always said that, innit? I said, why are you doing the job for?
Yeah.
Why are you doing that? If you're,
Yeah.
if you're it can't be.
Yeah.
You've got to have a bit. Good. Tell them again, bro. I'll tell them to the camera, bro.
It's true though. If you work with young people, whatever field that's in, you need to know how to talk to them. You need to, know how to be approachable. Make yourself approachable so that they can feel that they can come and talk to you. That's like number one. If you haven't got that, you shouldn't even be in that position. I do feel strongly about that. It's not easy, and with that, it's not natural for some adults to have that instinct, but it's a soft skill. As people, we've got hard and soft skills. My hard skills are coaching. I can coach fighters. I can train people. I can do that. But then I have to have a certain element of soft skills, which are my character. I need to be approachable. I need to be able to listen. I need to be able to be honest and be authentic with these people. If you haven't got those, you need to ask yourself.
Talk the thing, man.
Yeah.
Now, I've always said to people, you need to update yourself. Like they always say, how do we do it? I said, because your brain is a computer. You need to update yourself regular. What is really going on in society, especially when it comes to young people. Even if you don't like the music, it's good to know a little bit about it. Like understand who the Russ Millies and not to say no Stormzy and all that. You got to understand different 667 and understand where the makeup is and certain gang. I know about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just to
have to care
understand, even the
enough.
language itself is good to just understand it because it evolves so quickly. You're like, what? You said what now?
Yeah,
you don't understand
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
And have compassion.
Exactly.
I feel like compassion goes a long way.
100%. 100%. Patience, But I think just being approachable, man, that's number one.
Yeah.
You've got to make yourself approachable to them.
Nah, so imagine now, I've always wanted to do this now, on the PieceMAKERS and that. What was supposed to happen, I'm going to cuss the producers, but you're meant to have we're meant to give you like a little award plaque in it. But we're going to pretend we give you the puzzle piece of what it is in it and then award you with it like that. But we get it down the line later on, we'll get it popping. Do you get what I'm saying? So you just imagine you got it now in it. Boom. Anyway, so part of the whole thing we wanted to say,
Well, what is the piece?
it's a piece of a puzzle in it.
Puzzle.
Oh, wow.
There you go,
Thank you.
Ruby.
I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
thank you for
And so much more.
Yeah. Just put it there on the side. Don't let it drop though. And then what now? I've always wanted to do this, but I was like, imagine now you got the whole world in front of you to speak. Now they've tuned in, and then it's just you and it's Bobby in front of the TV screen, and you've got like 30 seconds or a minute to speak to the world, and tell them something in terms of the whole make it stop or what we can do or what we should do as society, and you've got the world at your back, like your hand. Like, what would you say?
I'll say that things always get done when you work as part of a team. Power is greatest when it's shared amongst people that care about what they're doing. I'll say that if you want to make a difference, don't put money at the forefront, put your purpose at the forefront and everything else will follow. And these are things that I've lived and experienced over time, especially over the last 10 years. And I would say, ask yourself, what is the legacy you want to leave when you're no longer here? And that's what drives myself, and what do I want my kids to remember me for? And what do I want the memories to be when I'm old and grey? I want to be able to talk about the work I've done in my community with my young people over a long period of time and the impact that I had, and that's the bit that I can control and help and contribute to, then it'll be a life that I'm proud of. You know?
Drop the mic. Drop the mic. Like, you get me? Like, bro, can I just say, like the amount of interaction we had it's been minimal, but your whole aura and who you are it's been maximum bits, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's create, like I don't know man, but I know man.
Yeah.
To get, and he's genuine. He's
100%.
genuine. You know, like something you look down, he's fake, babe. You know, I can hear
Read
it.
it from a prop.
Yeah,
like
but bro, I commend you for what you're doing, and you deserve this piece of the puzzle. And we thank you for coming down to the pod. Like, there's so much more about you. It's mad, but I think you've just encapsulated everything that needs to be done or said on this pod.
Yeah.
And I'm just happy to have you as the first episode. And
First guest.
yeah, man, and I'm just thank you for like just spending the day.
Taking time out.
Whole
man.
day and that, you had to do the whole day
Oh,
thing.
yeah, filming.
Crazy, whatever, man. But he's gonna be famous.
Local
and that.
celeb.
He's gonna be famous and that.
And you know,
Nah.
with things like this, I always see it as honestly as a blessing as well, because every day I wake up, I get to do something I enjoy, you know. And with that, it's like that alone, honestly, it's a blessing.
Yeah, not many people can say that.
Not many people can say that. You know, I get up every morning, and people think I'm mad because I was telling, Cameron, he's like, "What's your day look like?" I said, "Bro, I'm up at 5 a.m. because I get up at 5:30 in the morning. I'm at work for 7. You know, sometimes I'll train before, train after, but I like to be. I train people 1-to-1, and then I'll train the boxers. You know, and then the team come in from the evening onwards. But I manage the gym, so I've got all that to be managing and staying on top of and planning for a new space. It's just non-stop. But I get to wake up every morning and actually do something that I enjoy and make an impact and make a difference. So I don't feel tired in the morning. Like I don't feel like.
Wait. You got to get up at 5 o'clock tomorrow.
So wait, what time do you go to bed?
Do you know what? I sleep late as well. You know, probably around midnight.
So 5 hours.
Yeah, on average. I won't get away with that.
See that you understand why I behave like I'm doing it. You know, like you.
Anyway, yeah.
Not much sleep.
Nah, because no, I feel the same way. Like when it's something that you're. Do you know what I mean? I really enjoy working with. I work for the work that I work for, and that she's the boss in it. She promoted me the other day in it on the sum up thing.
Oh yeah, you get to take payments on that. No.
Not even that. I get to refund if I need to. You get me? Like I'm on different levels now. You get me? Even Brixton Bid came the other day and they'd done an interview. I was like, yes, I'm co-founder. You get me on that? G, you get me? But no, but even that. There's so many other elements to it, to the social media. Obviously I do the comedy and the DJing as well, and like you said, I'm doing the podcast and all these other bits being creative. Like yesterday, I was just in the shot. I said, I gotta shoot a video on. We shoot videos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why sleep to me is like. Whatever, like, but it is important though. But it's important.
Yeah.
But it's like I get where your head's at. The 5 o'clock in the morning is a bit mad, but either way.
Oh, like you go to the airport every day.
Yeah. I got somewhere to be. Yeah.
No,
that
respect.
That P4 bus journey takes.
Is it? You don't drive?
Not to Brixton.
Can't park in Brixton.
Parking.
He doesn't know.
He
He
wants
doesn't
to know
know.
where my
He doesn't know the
I
mentioned
know.
it earlier.
Yeah, we're gonna look him up. We're gonna hook you up, fam. We have to hook him up because it's a P4, you know.
But do you know what? Again, it's like mentality. Like I prefer not to drive because when I get up in the morning and I get on the bus and that little 40 minutes that it takes in the morning, I actually get a lot of work done. So I'm still working in between, you know, and I just use it productively. You learn to use your time productively. So
Yeah, if you're driving, you'll be able to do all that.
you won't be able to do that.
No.
So,
True, unless you're being driven.
yeah.
Good point, innit? They should be driven. I like that one. Do you get me? No, that's
No, thank
No, it's
you.
beautiful. Do you want to do the outro and that? You can do the outro and that. You have to make up something though, 'cause it's
Oh
fresh off
gosh,
the
we're like
press.
on the spot.
Yeah.
You're good at that.
Nah,
All I can say is if you haven't liked and subscribed yet,
Like
yeah,
now,
don't
do it
know.
now,
Yeah,
do it now,
just
do it now.
Look, ting ting,
Do it
bing
now.
bing, done, innit? Yes.
Yeah, go on.
Check out Bobby Mills's mini doc, as we said, PieceMAKERS. It will be on YouTube as well. The link will be in the bio. And yeah,
We ain't finished.
so much
we ain't
more to
finished.
come. And
We ain't finished.
Yeah.
Match and Shan,
we out.
PieceMAKERS. What is it? Well, we are the peace, and we want peace. We're PieceMAKERS. You don't know the MySpace.
Wow.
Inside, you get me?
think you could have done better.
You think I should do it? No, but I'm the peace. No, we are the peace. We want peace. We're peacemakers. I think that's sick. I don't know why I think of this. I'm a G, you know.
Okay.
I swear down. Hey, you lot done though. Big up.